Did you note at this point that
No.
nobody has seen either Nero or Java since returning to the ship?
Of course not. While Cade is transferring them some of the technical specs of the ship from his, remote access into the computer, or like pulling it up on one of the panels there in engineering, showing them how to find it. He'll then pull out his communicator and I think he'll text brother Nick and say, we seem to have 2 missing of our own.
Would Saoirse have heard that?
He would have texted it to brother Nick.
Okay. LOL. Get the purity police on him.
Well, I was thinking more of, don't get them in trouble with the captain. But
There you go.
but that might actually be getting them in more trouble. Yeah, no.
hmm
So his data slab sends back an automated message that says, "Sorry, currently preaching right now. Can't come to the phone."
Okay.
Currently preaching. Can't come to the phone. Is it an automated one? Because that makes it even better.
That is
It's an
fantastic.
automated message.
Okay. Then Cade will copy and paste the message and send it to Saoirse instead. 2 of our own seem to be missing currently.
Saoirse, upon getting the message, can kind of see like the little loading image over her head, like she's trying to figure out what who's missing. And does she know where brother Nick is right now?
I would guess. I think he's been preaching in the main cargo area in this interim thing.
So she's just kind of doing the when you see it, the look of realization on her face. She's just gonna like close her eyes very slowly. And if you didn't know any better, you'd think that maybe she was praying, but she's not brother Nick, so you doubt it. And she messages back really quickly. Do you have any idea where they are?
Well, I guess Cade will text back and say, I haven't reviewed footage of the corridors to figure that out yet, but these 2 did sneak off with each other another time. I don't know where they might have gone this time.
She'll hand wave away, like almost like they're physically having the conversation, speaking to one another. She'll just wave her hand, and then remembering that they're messaging and not speaking, she'll just say, "Just keep on top of Alder and his men. I'll go figure out where they are."
You got it.
All right, so has Saoirse seen them walking around anywhere?
She has not.
No, dadgummit. Okay. She's gonna start looking in the places they've previously been seen sulking off to. So she will first check in the armory, and not finding them there, she will go over here to go and check in Victor's the gun turret, basically. And if she doesn't find them in there,
She does not.
she will get a little concerned. She'll pop her head into here and she'll ask Tom if he has any idea where Nero and Java are.
He looks up from the data slab that he's reading and smooth as clockwork makes the telepathic connection again. I'm sorry, would you repeat that?
A couple of dosers that have been missing on my ship repeatedly, Java and Nero. Do you have any idea where they might be?
No, I do not.
Great. Let's crack on then. Apologies for messing up with you. By the way, there's someone here who is quite excited, Deliria and Xeria really, to meet you, and I promised that he would get the chance. So, just a heads up, he is actually quite a kind man. I think he would rather like getting to have a conversation with you. When I mentioned the telepathy, he was right excited that. So, just thought you'd like to know, just a heads up.
His mandibles waving in the air. As he considers that, he replies, "Very well, thank you for warning me."
Right?
Should
Just trying to do my best.
Should I go to meet him in the common area?
No. Actually, you just wait here and we'll pop over to your gaff later. All right? Crack on. And she'll just turn around and I will say that she's really flustered with Nero and Java missing. And so she is just not even thinking clearly about what slang she is or is not using. But I'm hoping that Tom's telepathic link with her will help bridge any gaps that he might not understand.
If only the telepathic link
Works for you.
I was I was gonna say if only it interpreted meaning as well as the words themselves.
Right. I'll just say translation.
Yeah,
She said,
unfortunately, does not include definition.
"No, you stay here. We'll come back to your place later. I've got a lot to do. I better get back to it."
That actually does bring up a good question though, because it's it's using the subject's mind to basically impart the ability to speak and understand that language. So, kind of makes sense that little idioms and stuff like that would probably make the
Jump.
jump as well. Yeah.
It translates well enough, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't had to think about that before.
Congratulations, Danielle.
I try to push the boundaries of your mind. All right. So anyway, I'm looking for what I think are going to be two very awkward people that are somewhere. She gets to her own door and very hesitantly knocks.
She doesn't hear any reply.
When she pokes her head inside and sees no one, she lets out a really relieved sigh. And does actually send a prayer to a faceless god whom she hasn't prayed to in a long time of thanks. And then she's going to kind of skirt around the edges of Brother Nick's sermonizing here, and go into here, and she'll say hi to Ahmed, and then ask if he's seen Java or Nero.
He would turn around and look at her and think for a second. believe I saw them coming on the ship when you all came back from meeting with that alder fellow, but uh, don't think I've seen them since then.
All right, grand. You can tell she sounds dejected at this point. Um, is there a monitor in here where she could check the cameras to see if she can see where they went, knowing roughly when they all came back on the ship?
Yeah, there is.
All right. She would like to try doing that.
Okay. Um, mhm. You think she's familiar enough with sh ship computers and stuff to do something basic like that?
Oh, I would hope she
Okay.
do something basic like that.
Okay. I was just checking. I didn't think she had any particular reason not to, but yeah. So she can find those and go back to the time that you all returned, roughly. She sees everybody come onto the ship, and she sees Owen uh, approach Brother Nick. Two of them talk for a moment, and then as they leave the little, I guess, common room that's there, just just inside the airlock there, uh, she sees Nero come in, and Java enters from another door, grabs her arm, and speaking to her urgently. Then the two of them head off towards the bridge.
Okay. Uh, is there any video in the bridge?
Uh, there's yeah, there's one that shows them both going. Uh, they open the door to Java's little chamber. The conspiratorial like glance both ways real quick, and then they both dart in and shut the door behind them. And she keeps watching and sees nothing. She speeds up time a bit, fast forwards through all the way up to the moment she's at currently. Sees a few other people come and go as normal, but no sign of them opening that door.
As this has come through, she's just covered her face with her hands, like she just doesn't even. She's not even looking at the camera anymore. And I'm guessing Ahmed might have noticed what I'm doing. I don't know if he would actually look or not. If he hears her sigh heavily enough, but
Yeah, he's watching her. He's curious about what's going on. He's got nothing better to do. You find them?
I've got a question for you.
Sure. Shoot.
Parents ever catch you sneaking off with a girl?
His eyes go wide.
She'll like pinch
That's
the bridge of
kind
her
of
nose and give him a sidelong
personal.
glance. What
Why would you need
they
to know
do?
that?
Because I need to know how to deal with some people acting like a bunch of horny teenagers on my ship.
He
You
gives
seem
a
like an
very uncomfortable
upstanding young
cough.
man, and I was hoping maybe they did something right.
Uh,
Brother Nick would walk in around this.
Oh no.
so
Oh,
So he'd
Ahmed,
come in and say, well, I was a little rusty on my preaching, but I think I managed to keep things fairly brief.
Ahmed looks very. He's still looking very uncomfortable, and he looks from Saoirse to Brother Nick. Looks back to Saoirse and says, "I think that's a conversation we should have another time, but I think for now the best course of action is to do nothing."
Brother Nick is reading the room, and look on their faces. Says, "Oh, what's going on?"
Just a personal matter. Uh, Saoirse had some very personal questions for me.
Saoirse, who's already beet red, is going to avoid looking at Brother Nick with every ounce of her being.
Oh no. Okay, he can realize that level of
Embarrassment.
yeah, embarrassment from Saoirse can only mean one thing.
Oh no.
Stonily faced, he leaves and heads to the miscellaneous storage room. Is there a hose in there?
A hose in there?
I thought he was about to give Saoirse a piece of his mind because Ahmed's a married man.
A
Yeah, I'm
hose.
figuring it's like a mop.
Yeah.
Red said like, so is there like a hose hooked up in there for cleaning?
Oh no.
I'd say
Saoirse's
there's
going to turn to the cameras and just clear the file off of the screen. And she's going to look back at Ahmed and just give him an extremely serious look. She's going to say, listen, I need you to act thick if he asks you anything about it. You know nothing. Are we clear? And she's just like going to stare hard enough to just bore into his soul. I will take your advice if you can give me your word on this.
um he just makes a like zipper across the mouth motion and flicks it away.
That's a good lad. Appreciate it. I'll go check on the old fella.
Still looking very uncomfortable. So Brother Nick, he would find yeah, imagine there's a water hookup there to fill like the cleaning tool. It's like a vacuum mop, pressure washer all in one kind of deal. But probably not just that thing would have like a hose attachment, I guess. So sure.
Does it look like it'd reach
So
to Java's room?
So I mean, he could fill up the little tank on that
Oh,
thing
okay.
and take it
He's
with
My
him.
yeah, he's
stars.
filling it up.
All right. When Saoirse leaves the room. Oh, wait. Is he back already?
Yes, he is.
Oh, no. Oh, my stars. Okay. She's going to just like slide in between Nick and the door and she's going to say, Nick, listen to me. Just, they're two grown adults. Okay. I know this is not exactly in line with what you'd like for either of them, but we can maybe sit down and have a conversation like other grown adults.
So he's still
Oh no, Avery. Don't pee yourself, Avery.
looking pretty
I'm laughing hard
intense.
too.
Oh my word.
You know, saying she's just a child, Saoirse, and this
She's not.
hooligan, this rapscallion
Listen,
has
listen.
come onto the boat.
I don't need to make a holy show or a hams of it, all right? Listen. She's a grown woman. Much more. Listen, I bunk with her. I can tell you she's not a child. though she might act like it at times. She is a grown lass. Now listen, I know, but maybe Java isn't the sort we would have picked for her. Maybe he's somebody we would have thought, maybe get to know him a little bit. Don't get all flustered and floozy on the first night. But listen, it's a fine thing. He's okay. Why don't we just, fair play and just let it be and talk to her later about it, and just not go in there effing and blinding and tossing buckets of water.
Oh yeah, so it's taking a deep breath. So, there is some sense in that, but you need to talk to them, and soon, before there's a Java Junior running around.
Saoirse is gonna completely pale when he says that. The concept of narrow pregnant flashes through her mind, and she's looks like she's.
Plot twist. Saoirse slams open the door.
She grabs the bucket. Let me out.
She just slides out of Brother Nick's way. Actually, she's just literally going to just slowly move out of his way, and she just sweeps her arm towards the door. Go ahead.
Okay. Is the door to where it'll just slide open?
So Brother Nick can try the access panel there and to open the door. But yeah, it would
no,
slide
it's going to be
open,
locked. This
presumably.
is going to look even more sus.
No. So he's torn. It's going to plan here, but he's like, they didn't even lock it.
Yeah, it's not showing the little locked indicator.
Is this just like an open bucket kind of thing that he's carried?
No, so it's like so imagine like one of those kind of like semi-portable vacuums. It's still got some heft to it, but it's got imagine it's got like a water tank built into it too, and it's got multifunction
no.
stuff, but it's got a little hose attachment that he could basically jet water at them with.
Okay, yeah, so he's just cranking it full blast.
And spray everybody, huh?
Please tell me he's yelling something about, purity or something while he's running in there.
Alright, so does Brother Nick open the door?
Yeah, so he's just thrown open the door and started spraying.
Is he yelling anything at the same time?
I think he was letting him get surprised first.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Brother Nick, righteous indignation on his face, with Saoirse standing aside, looking very chagrined, and all kinds of mixed, confused emotions on her face. Ahmed leaning out of his chair, trying to see what's going on.
Painting this beautiful picture for us.
Trying not to get too close. Brother Nick opens the door and starts blasting water, and the water is immediately splashed back in his face as it bounces off the underside of the bed, which, having been leaning on end up against the door, is now falling out of the room onto Brother Nick.
Oh my word, Saoirse is going to, without thinking, just instantly use her telekinesis to grab the bed from crushing Brother Nick.
Okay. All right, so she catches the bed mid-fall before it hits him, and the water is splashed on both of you and gotten a good bit all over the floor. Does Brother Nick keep spraying?
So is the bed out of the way now? Or... has it just been held up in place?
She's gonna go ahead and pull it out of the way.
She had really just tried to keep it from crushing him, but if he's like if he's scrambling to get up, she's afraid he's gonna hurt himself on it. So she'll pull it aside.
Yeah, he's not letting up. So in just a couple of seconds, the bed falls out of the room, deflecting the spray of water all over the both of you.
My stars.
Bodnik staggers back a little bit, surprised, but is leaning into it, ready to knock the bed out of the way. So
Yes.
Saoirse jerks it aside with telekinesis, and the two of you are greeted to the sight of, first of all, Nero and Java both spluttering awake, laying on the cold, hard floor of the room. Nero fully clothed, Java's shirtless, but spluttering and clearly just now waking up. And there's quite a number of crumbs scattered all over the floor around them, and resting on them. Yeah, Java and
no.
Nero. Spluttering
Oh.
awake with being blasted with water.
Nero tries to leap to her
Mine
feet.
is for rice cakes.
Okay,
Oh my word.
all right, so for Nero,
My stars.
survive check.
Okay.
Dexterity.
Survive Dex. Oh boy.
right.
Oh.
Nero launches herself somewhere, apparently trying to get to her feet, but she slips in the water and just slides forward. Is still very clearly disoriented. Is Brother Nick still spraying at this point?
Oh yeah,
He's
so if
gotta
Nero's
be.
out of the way, he's aiming for Java. He's gonna.
This young hustler who's come after his little girl.
All right, what's Java doing?
Is there like soap hooked up to
Half
this?
drowning.
He's using this. He's turned on the soap.
There is soapy water being splashed all over Java.
I mean, he's gonna try and get out of the way. Let's see how that goes.
I'm laughing because
Alright.
this bedroom is basically a closet and there is nowhere to
Yeah.
go.
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a survive Dex check from Java as well.
It's in the form of rushing Nick with the hose. Oh. Oh. Come on, thing. What is my modifier here? Dex? Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Oh, wait. Cancel. So modifier is 0, right?
Yeah.
Dex, go.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay. Check your messages here, Avery.
Oh
He's
no.
thinking of his rice cakes and his rice cakes alone. He must save them.
Oh
That
my goodness.
roll, though.
Nice find, Robert.
That actually took a second.
All right. Yeah, so Java like shakes his head, just manages to block the spray for a second with his arm, but seems to get his bearings. Do you want to take it from here, Avery?
Okay, yeah. So at this moment, Java's realizing that the remaining 9 rice cakes that he has are definitely in the line of fire, and very likely could be ruined by, this onslaught of water that is threatening him. He, with his remaining hand, thinks to protect his rice cakes, he's left with only one option. He grabs Nero and holds her directly in front of him in the line of fire, apologizing profusely as he does it. It's for the rice cakes, he says.
Oh boy. Oh, to everyone around her, in front and behind. What are you doing? Stop!
Is she resisting this grapple?
She
We're-
realizes that rice cakes are on the line.
It's for the rice cakes, no. I'm so sorry. How would Brother Nick react to Java pulling Nero in front of him as a human shield? To his righteous baptism of anger.
Yeah, so I think
Right.
more incensed, but he's cranking down the sprayer since it's narrow.
Righteous
Getting
baptism
the
of
bunch
soapy anger. Maybe that's the session title.
By the way, Ben, I don't know
Yes.
if you saw what I wrote on Roll20, but Saoirse had started recording it once
Oh,
she
nice.
realized that everybody was clothed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Brother Nick will yell, "Nero, get out of there! I have words with that rapscallion
Alien. Yes! Nailed it!
rake."
She's
God,
trying
what
to...
are Martin Alder's people thinking right now?
Well,
Ear
y'all are pretty
plugs
far from the
in.
engineering room.
No, we're pretty far from the engineering room. There's at least 1, 2, 3. There's at least 3 doors in between us and the engineering room.
But the Rollins
no.
who might be nearby.
No.
I don't
None
know.
of shouldn't be any on the bridge. We're
I
good.
guess they were
sh-
pouring out of the 3-hour sermon.
Yeah, they were
say,
probably all getting off the
Hiding from Brother
ship
Nick.
as quickly as they could. Yeah.
Nero, trying to wipe soapy water from her eyes, is holding position in front of Java, and asks again, "What are you doing?"
Oh, hey, you guys need to fix your tokens. It looks like Java's actually protecting Nero
Oh.
on the map. You need to
No.
correct that, please.
There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Brother Nick will. What am I doing? What are you doing?
Is this soap? Why is there soap?
I think it's trying to cleanse you of all impurities from the
To wash
outside.
away.
Sleeping. Sleeping is what I was doing.
We
Yeah.
know that's what you were doing. I'll take a spray if he's like peeking out behind there. He's trying to shoot around Nero.
That was Saoirse piping up from behind Brother Nick, by the way.
What did she
Brother
say?
Nick's trying to wash off all the impurities from you from the outside.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
We got a raid.
We did.
Hello, Raiders. We're having a classic misunderstood conversation. Welcome.
Nero's
Alright.
standing in front of Brother Nick, mouth slightly agape.
Oh no.
Yeah, so all of them thoroughly soaked in soapy water. Is is Java speaking it more to defend himself here?
What is there to defend? He was sleeping, eating rice cakes. Nothing impure happened. No, I guess. What do you think we were doing?
Uh-oh.
Nero glances back at Java and then fixes her gaze on Brother Nick.
Yeah, so Brother Nick looks like he's building up a head of steam for a sermon. I guess. What you were doing.
Wait
I
a minute.
think you both know what you were doing.
Oh,
Nero
no.
had already talked to you about
Okay.
this.
Can Saoirse seeing the situation, can she see like any kind of other reason they might have been in there? Like we saw the crumbs, we saw that they're clothed, like but she's actually like still telekinetically holding the bed, so she's just gonna like heft that up and just say, "Why'd you barricade the door with your bed? What are you up to?" And then she's also gonna turn to Brother Nick and just say, "Just gonna say to not lock the door and to not use the bed for other purposes. I don't think they were doing what you think they were doing."
Wait, you can lock the doors?
Yeah.
Saoirse is just going to like stop the record button on her compact and just look at him say, like just mouth behind Brother Nick to him like, "Shut up." She's trying so hard to help him and he's not helping.
It gave us more room.
Oh my word. Saoirse is like gonna go back to pinching nurse. You know what? I don't know why I'm even trying to help you. Listen, Brother Nick, you're gonna be running out of soap soon. Do you mind if you just try not to book it down in my bridge? Unless, you're gonna have Jova clean over this up.
Look, I'm not cleaning any of this up. I was just asleep in my room. This is ridiculous. I didn't do anything
Sleep?
wrong.
I thought you would be
Saoirse,
happy that I was not bouncing a ball off everything.
well, we were hoping you'd find something a little more productive for your energies other than slinking off at the first floozy we get on the ship.
He has rice cakes.
Saoirse had almost calmed Brother Nick down. But hearing that, he bellows, "Rice cakes? You had sex with a man for rice cakes?"
Saoirse just looks mortified, just completely mortified.
Whoa. Big misunderstanding here, big man. Arrow, tell him. Like, that's. I mean, I've told him over and over again what we were doing, but, like. I don't understand why you would think that's what we were. I mean, I told him we were eating rice cakes.
Yeah. Still kind of shocked by the whole episode here. Nero's trying to get closer to Nick, Brother Nick, but there's still kind of a bed in the way, I think, a little bit, right? Who did I have? Wait, what?
Saoirse's like silently pointing like at Java. just like peering out again from behind one hand and just pointing.
He's not my
Brother,
boyfriend.
Brother Nick is trying to move around the telekinetically held bed like he's gonna vault at Java.
Saoirse is like
He says,
attempting
eating
to
rice
match
cake, is that some kind of Uralan euphemism?
Oh, my
I'm not just getting started with you, boy.
And Saoirse is also gonna she's also gonna say, "Oh, so now you're thinking about Kareem. All right, got it. You weren't thinking about that all the other times that you were sneaking off with Java."
Kareem never gave me rice cakes.
Brother Nick just bellows.
No.
Not even words anymore.
All right. I think we need to have a sit down like grown adults. Java, what are you saying you weren't or were doing? She's like raising her voice, trying to be heard over Brother Nick, and also trying to telekinetically block him from coming into the room and tearing Java apart.
I'm telling you, we went to eat with Martin, and he had these disgusting pomegranates. I tried to eat it, it tasted horrible, and so when we left, I was hungry.
They weren't good.
Very hungry. So I came back to the ship, and I promised Nero when we played our game that I would get her past Nick. And so I did. And we came to my room to eat cakes, but we didn't want any of you to bother us. So we barricaded the door. I'll admit, I didn't know we could lock it. That might have been a little dangerous. But then we ate the cakes, and it was really quiet, and I fell asleep.
I
The
didn't
hallway
fall
door
asleep
has opened.
immediately, but I didn't want to disturb him.
Victor comes rushing in, takes in the scene, and Brother Nick just clearly livid and says loudly, "What has happened? Who needs help?"
I'm not exactly sure which one to limit it to at this point, but if you could help me remove my crew from the bridge right now, that'd be great.
He comes over to Brother Nick and doesn't like grab him, but he kind of puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "Brother Nick, let's break this up."
Okay, yeah, so he's starting to calm down. And he turns to Victor with a scowl on his face, says they were eating rice cakes. And
Victor looks very confused.
gives him a significant look.
No,
He looks. He
Brother
glances
Nick
into the
doesn't buy
room.
the story.
He does a double take. I see.
No, shakes
Eating
off her arm.
rice cakes. Very well. That's good. And kind of walks along with Brother Nick, heading out down the hall. One one hand kind of on his upper back, just
Kind of leading him along.
saying, "Yeah, I I can't believe they would do this to you." Uh,
Question mark?
yeah, I'm sure with time you can work it out with them,
Oh
but
man.
later.
God bless Victor.
He glances back at Saoirse, gives her a very inquisitive look, and hmm, he he just mouths talk later.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and he goes on out the door with Nick.
Bye.
Nero climbing down from the bed, watching Brother Nick get escorted out. looks sheepishly over at Saoirse. It's that kind of look like, the dog that knows it's done something wrong, but has no idea what it is.
Saoirse is still just not sure what to even do at this point, and she'll just level a stare. Rice cakes. You're sneaking off for food?
Yes.
I didn't want you guys to feel bad that I had this food and wasn't sharing it, but I mean, if it's gonna cause a fight, like here, and he just
He
pulls
looks at
the
the
rice cake.
outstretched hand with rice cakes,
No.
and she's just.
And I didn't want him to have to share with everyone.
It's okay, Nero. Just she can have
I'm
one.
sorry. Listen. Oh. Can you two just go get mops, please? Just clean this up. It's a bridge, not a lake. Get the filth removed and get out of my way. And she's going to, sort of bump them with the bed and then just dump it back unceremoniously into Java's room. And then she's going to storm off. Listen, I've got a date with an eccentric millionaire and an alien. If you don't mind, just please try and clean up the mess.
Is Brother Nick gonna come back?
You better pray to whatever god it is that he serves that he doesn't. She'll just give them one final look. Listen, take the puss off your face. I mean it. Mops. And then she's going to walk out.
Yes, ma'am.
Is she gonna think to say anything to Cade, or is she just so shook by this whole
him
thing?
the video. No, she has sent him the video from her compad.
Okay.
With plenty of laughing emojis.
Yeah, I think all Cade has the brain cells to send her after watching that while keeping his other eye on the technicians is just the completely confused face emoji, but also, laughing and crying behind it.
She'll just message him back and be like, we need to fill Brother Nick's hammock with rice cakes.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Kid will text back. I'm on it. I'm sure we can order them.
She'll put a couple devil emojis in there or something. They're just planning on having them write an apology letter to Brother Nick. And she's also planning on having Brother Nick write an apology letter to Nero.
But not Java. Got it.
Well, eventually Java, okay? He's a work in progress. The man is hanging by a thread. He also saw what he could do with the soap water, okay? She doesn't want to be on the receiving end of that. Oh no. Prudence sends an automated warning to Cade's compact. Unexpected water source detected in bulkhead 1. Oh my words. Thank you, Prudence. Best ship in the system.
There is going to get a mop.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right, so Saoirse, after getting that off her chest, she's a little red in the face, and she's just at this point, instead of trying to very calmly and zen-like, telekinetically pick up all the water, she just angrily picks up the wet bedding, and begins to wring it into the bucket that's next to Java. She may or may not have whacked him over the back of the head with the bedding on its way to the bucket.
Nero does something I don't know if Saoirse's ever seen her do before. She backs up a step.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's pretty impressive actually.
I'll just interject that Saoirse can manipulate all the different pieces of bedding and the pillowcases and a couple mops too if she wanted to.
Oh yeah, no, I know she can. As she's getting angrier.
Bad bed.
Well, I had plans. It's not really him introducing the idea. So as she's wringing out the bedding, she also picks up the mattress off of his bed, and you just see it begin to get wrung out as well.
Oh.
Um, and I was always there with you when Kareem was about. I was the chaperone most of the time. I had to practically beg you to hold the poor man's hand.
I
And
told
then
you what we were doing. I said we were eating rice cakes.
Nero, when you say one thing and then you go about acting another, what do you expect me to do? Just be blind?
I didn't
Just
want anyone
turn my
else
head
eating
away?
the rice cakes.
We didn't
Listen.
act another Cersei. We did what we said we were doing.
Saoirse.
And
She'll pop the mattress above his head when he doesn't say her name right, and just like glare at him.
look, I get you're mad, and like rightfully so if that's what you thought we were doing, right? But when you're mad and you talk quickly like this and you say all these words like floozy and
She's just
I
getting
think you
like
called me a
more.
whore. I mean, I have a hard time following you, getting the point. I don't know. We didn't mean anything by it. We were just trying to enjoy some rice cakes.
She's just like gonna look deadpan at him.
It was
Listen.
just rice cakes.
She all the water that was on the metal of the bed underneath the mattress just very quickly gets flicked off in a spray towards Java and Nero. And then the mattress just slams back onto the table. And then very, very quickly you hear a pop of sheets above it. And this whole time she's just staring at Java. And just say, I have a question for you. Was I talking to you?
I thought so, but I'll let you have your conversation then. Sorry.
The pillow is going to pop as well as the pillowcase is falling back on. She'll look over at Nero. And she'll just say, listen, I was content to let you have your moment, have your side piece. Who am I to judge?
He's not a side piece.
Listen, I know that now. But when you ask me what I thought you were doing, I had no idea what to think you were doing, Nero. You're sneaking off into every crevice of the ship like some kind of thief.
We told you.
Yeah, you told me, Nero, and was I supposed to think that was all you were up to? Running around like a couple dossers. And both of the mops are going to be angrily swirling around behind him.
Why wouldn't you?
Nero, most people, when they're running around with someone sneaking off into corners, are not exactly honest about what they're doing. And then she'll pause and the mops kind of slow down and she'll give a sigh. I will say you've never given me any reason to think you wouldn't be honest with me.
She lowers her head a little bit. I did eat rice
Then
cakes without you.
Oh, the bloody cardboard rice cakes I couldn't give 2 cents about. Now she'll level a look at Java really, like, she's goes from, regretful, I owe you an apology, to glaring at Java. Do I have any reason to believe that you would tell me the truth? Have you proven yourself trustworthy to me in any way since you've been on my ship?
Mm. Mm.
Put your hand down and answer me.
Yes, ma'am. Have I ever lied to you before? I mean, I'm sorry. I, I I don't know what else to say besides that. If there's anything I can do to make up for this horrible misunderstanding, I'll do it.
All right, I'll think on that.
I
In the
have an idea.
meantime,
I have an
what,
idea.
Nero?
Eat a rice cake.
If it involves the hamster wheel, the answer is no.
No,
Don't feel like it right now.
eat a rice cake. They're good. You'll understand.
Had one before, Nero.
Oh. You didn't like it?
No, Nero. I did not like it.
One of these rice cakes. Not the ones with soap on them, but
Can
Nero's
Nero
whole world has just been crushed.
can Nero make like a persuasion check or something?
sure.
Is there can there I don't
Yeah.
care if you want it to just be like a straight skill check, Ben, but just any kind of charisma or
Yeah,
I don't
whatever you
know.
guys want to do about that. Maybe talk with charisma, maybe?
Yeah. That works for me.
Alright.
How hard do you think it'll be to convince her, Danielle?
Saoirse really doesn't like rice cakes, but I'll say that the clearance is a 4
Well,
because she has a soft spot for Nero.
I say it's gonna be at least a 7. The bar was
That's
at
low,
shin
slow.
height, and yet
Saoirse
Nero just face
looks
planted.
Saoirse looks at the rice cake in Nero's hand, and she takes it and looks at her and says, "Maybe later." And then she pockets it. She feels bad, but not bad enough to eat the rice cake. She thinks it's disgusting. Then she looks at Java, and she's a little less harsh this time. She's going to say, "You know, before I met Nero, most people were really just a sack of tacks, waiting to disappoint me. She's shown me time and time again she's willing to literally cut my arm off if I tell her to, or help me do something crazy but necessary. And it's easy to say, oh, I haven't broken your trust. But everyone's just one mistake away from doing it. So personally, you have to earn my trust. I don't just give it away."
That's
And then
dark.
she'll slide the bucket over to next to his foot. Though, don't be too hard on yourself, because I'll be getting some good laughs out of the video I got earlier, and to be honest, I don't hold it too much against you.
I think we'll
Ned-
all look back at this as a hilarious moment. Definitely.
Saoirse looks over her shoulder, terrified, wondering if Brother Nick is going to show up. And then she'll say, "Listen, just try not to sneak off for any more private snacks anytime soon."
We won't
And-
have to when the refugees are gone.
Oh, my stars. Listen,
Okay.
the refugees don't want your rice cakes. Nasty little circles of cardboard. No one wants them but you two.
Sorry, Saoirse.
Yeah, whatever. Listen, you're going to be writing sorry cards to Brother Nick.
Why? He sprayed us.
She glowers at them.
Nero lowers her eyes again. Sorry.
Listen, the old man's trying to look out for you and you give him a heart attack? quit being sus and just do the right thing. Someone has to be the first to do it anyway. He'll come around, you just have to give him time. Throw you're on edge talking about heretics on his ship. Just try not to give the old man any more excitement, can you?
Nero nods.
Alright. Saoirse's gonna look around the quarters. Should look pretty pristine at this point. Anything else I can do to help you out, Jova?
I guess if you have any advice on how I can make this right with Nick, maybe we can talk about that later.
She blinks a couple times. Well, you could start by drafting an apology card. And then maybe a gift of some rice cakes would help later. Much, much later.
Or you could make toys and keep the rice cakes.
He does like toys. That's fair. But I don't think the toys are for him now. And then she'll shake her head real quick as if like, okay, I'm getting distracted. I'll think on it, but for now, just please stop looking so suspicious. If you need to have a snack, you can come into our quarters. I don't care. Just don't get crumbs on my bed. And for the love of all that is good, please stop barricading the doors in my ship. All right.
Nero
See you
has
two
no
later.
response.
She's gonna put the bucket of dirty mop water gently next to Java's foot and air quotes magic telekinesis the mops to Nero. Just try not to get sprayed anymore, alright?
I should take both of these. Brother Nick's room is that way. Sorry I got you in trouble, Java.
It is what it is, I guess. I think it'll end up being okay. I don't know why everyone overreacted so much. I guess I just don't really understand why they thought what they did.
Nero shakes her head. I don't know.
Now I guess I just have to figure out a way to make it right and prove that I can be trusted, because that's come into question, and that doesn't seem right. I don't want to be on this ship piloting us through metaspace with a crew that just is worried about if I'm going to do the right thing. So if you've got any ideas, I know I already asked, but maybe we can brainstorm on how we fix this.
Maybe. Hang on, quick.
Oh.
Yep, sorry about that.
Okay.
Maybe instead of a card, wait until Brother Nick is not mad and just apologize to him in person.
Fair enough.
Why does she want it on a card anyways?
I don't know. Was she being sarcastic about the rice cakes, or do you think he actually wants one? What if that's why he's mad?